Good evening, my friends. It's BJ Franz K. What are we looking at here? SYNTHSPACE. It's a cool thing. It's a new app available on Steam for virtual reality. Yes, another virtual reality music program. The world of virtual reality music is expanding before our eyes. So what is happening here? I've sort of created a 90s style trip hop, or a big beat, as they would call it, type of thing. So first of all, I have this break down here in a sampler. See, here's a sampler window with a cartridge. It's playing this. I can turn up the gain, the speed, but I carefully adjusted that speed of the break so that it would match the speed of the clock here. What else is the clock controlling? So we have this bass line over here. Interesting synthesizer racks once again. So I have this arpeggiator, and it's playing this bebop pattern here. But it's going into a voltage control oscillator and then into a filter. Check out the detail on these things. They look very, very realistic, don't they? It looks a lot like you are in a modular synthesizer studio. You can see all of the shiny details, the wires and stuff. Anyway, so that's a bass line, and then I have this sort of weird lead, noisy sort of atonal loop here. Another arpeggiator doing its thing, and a filter here. Anyway, I'm losing track of what I did to put all of this together. And isn't it cool? I can just sort of take it apart, put it back together. I have these three-dimensional synth racks. Actually, they don't really have much of this stuff in real life, and I'd like to build it. But it's a great way to sort of work out what you might do if you had infinite time, money, and skill, right? But anyway, my waveform is going up there to the void area behind the workspace here, and I could record it onto a WAV file if I wanted to. That is getting rather annoying, isn't it? So I need to go back to my mixer here. See, it even has the circuit boards and stuff in back. Alright, so we'll turn that down. Wait, it's upside down. Alright, this is a mixer, so turn that annoying sound down. What else have I got here? That's better. My drums are now centered. That's the drum break again, but what else do I have here? I also have this sort of zappy drum synthesis type thing going on, and I didn't put that in a rack, but what if I did get this nice and organized? And yes, real synthesizer modules don't allow you to float them in the middle of cyberspace. You have to power them and do that kind of thing. Got to be a power supply in here and then plug it in. But hypothetically, so what I have is another VCO coming off the clock, and then I put it into a voltage control filter, and oh yeah, and then here's the, wait a minute, somewhere around here there's an envelope. Oh yeah, here it is. So, yeah, that's right. And then it goes into the split, and then it's doing these other things. But by controlling the ADSR, getting different sort of zappy sounds out of it, that sound like anything from drums to video game noises. And then I got clever and I adjusted the resonance with one of the timing elements as well, so it would vary a bit. Anyway, so that's a nice little big beat sequence, like Fatboy Slim or the Chemical Brothers or Daft Punk, who unfortunately they separated the group just recently, but I bet they'll do something in the future. Who knows? Maybe the robots will do solo projects or other things. Or maybe they'll transform into humans or some other thing. You never know. But back in the 90s, I actually was making big beat music and other electronic music in the 90s myself. But I'm not quite as famous as those guys, but I have been doing it for a very long time. And that is why I think it is so amazing that you're able to do all of this with just software now, because back then we had to have really fancy hardware, and then we had the first VST mixing with programs and stuff, but the power was very limited. You only had a few channels that you could use at the time, so it's funny, like a deluxe computer at that time had less power than your current phone has. So just be thankful for what the world, the internet, and all of these things have provided, and use them for something good. Don't waste your time with a bunch of arguments and all of that sort of stuff. The world is a big place, and there's plenty of space for everyone to live out their dreams in some way without bothering other people. SYNTHSPACE. Synthesizers, yes, and they're in cyberspace. They're in not outer space, but sort of, yes, cyberspace. And I like them sort of floating here in a sort of unusual way, but let's see. Now that I've totally taken everything apart, let's mess it up, shall we? I'll take the clock speed, turn it way, way up, way too fast, then way down, slow. Now notice the drums are off sync. Why? Because this isn't Ableton Live. This isn't something that automatically adjusts the breaks, because back in the 90s we did have to manually chop and adjust the breaks very, very carefully to make them fit. When I first saw things like Ableton Live, I said, or Sonic Foundry Acid, other things like that, I said, it's too easy to use those things. Anyone will be able to make music regardless of talent or skill, is what I thought. Wasn't exactly wrong there, but still, if you have talent and you have the will to use it, your stuff will hopefully be appreciated. So here I am selecting just part of the break or something, and I can change the mode. Ping pong mode, back and forth. Or our single shot mode. Is there a way to just totally reverse it? Well, I don't know. I'm still... Would you believe this is the first thing I've done with this program? But because it is arranged in a sensible way, it looks like Gear and other software that I've used before. I was able to easily do it. There's some basic tutorials included. Show you how to do your stuff. I can tell I'll be able to do complicated... Not sure what this crossfade control does exactly. Oh, I see. It's narrowing in a selection lens. Based on this area. And this would probably be more interesting to put like a atmospheric sample or something that doesn't obviously have a drum beat as part of it. Turn the clock speed way up again. All of the things are... And then it rapidly goes here. Going too rapidly. Don't hear anything. So it's just a little drum roll. That is annoying, isn't it? Turn that down. Turn this up. Crossfade. Interesting drum rolls, and yes, you could hypothetically make trap music with the sprinkler hats and all of that stuff, the rolls, or IDM. They were doing that type of stuff in IDM, Aphex Twin and all of that. Another guy from the 90s. You could make Aphex Twin type of stuff with this IDM. Voice of Canada. And really it's better if you don't limit yourself by trying to imitate a particular artist or style. Just do something that you like. And then enjoy the process, and then put it in a style box later if you have to. But a lot of the interesting music that you like was made by people who didn't care about what style it was. And then some news reporter or music reviewer later on named that style. But like I say, innovation is often done by people who look beyond the style, and they also realize that the divisions of style that people see as really hard, solid divisions like walls, well, if you think outside the box, you are looking at the wall from a sky viewpoint into the maze of life, just looking down on it, and you can find your way through. Like that waveform up there, that's cool. You can think your way through the sounds, you can use your eyes to understand what your ears are hearing. Rather annoying. Alright, take that, turn that clock speed way down. And we'll slow slow the drums way down. And in this program, if you want to delete things, you just chuck them down at the floor, and they hopefully dissolve if they hit the floor. They explode like asteroids in a 1980s video game. Oh, I just destroyed my master mixer, but I don't know if that's good, because you don't want kids getting started thinking they should throw their synths at the floor. Too valuable for that. All right. So, yeah, I really like this app. It sounds good. It looks good. Wow, look at the realism here, even though this is a very sort of surrealistic setup. See, load. What would I do? I can change my room. I have these different voids. I have a rainbow, a studio, blue void. I loaded up the forest and it actually crashed my system. But it is possible that that requires a higher... Oh, this one has grids and squares. That's interesting. Different themes. I can control my light here, casting the shadows. Get rid of these guys too. And then bring up this thing. And what am I going to do? I'll make another rack. Now this is a more standard double rack, angled with wood. This is a much more realistic rack. Hey, look, it even looks like it has the power things there. So that's cool. Here's a motion joystick that I didn't use last time. The recorder. So suppose something weird happened in the studio last time. Let's get rid of that one as well. Here's this keyboard. Motion. All right. What else could I make? I will take, let's see, we'll start again and have a mixer. Always good to give yourself a mixer, because it's too boring to just have one single sound. You want several. And on the out, I had a spatial out before. This is a complicated out. I can do just this. Do a standard output. Put that over here. And nothing says that I have to make it flow from left to right, but it is kind of a good idea to always wire your things in a similar way, just so you don't forget what is going on. And I am putting it through this recording device, so I could record it onto the cartridge if I wanted to, even though I probably won't. Just video recording the whole thing. And let's see. So I have these 3 different kind of voltage control oscillators. So here's an option. Turn this way down. Plug this in. There it is. Basic sound. Change it. Different waveforms. I didn't even have a standard sequencer in that last one, but I was using arpeggiators and then some other things. But here is a music sequencer. So then we'll have an output of the frequency. So I can control a few different pitches. Start to create myself some random sounding music here. What would really sound good, I didn't use delay last time, but some cool delay makes things sound more like real synthesizer music, doesn't it? I like that already. Sort of meditative music here. So under control, let's see. Looking at all of these, good things to have. It's in structure. Oh, a clock divider, that's good. Divide or multiply, handy stuff. So we'll put a clock right over here because it's kind of the foundation of things. Pop that in. So I like clock dividers. That's interesting. You can sort of see an X-ray view as you light up each part of that. So then I'll drop this into here, clock divider, and then we'll divide this clock up. And voltage control oscillator, this one, connect it. Wait a minute. No, that's the frequency. Let's see. I will have something triggering that. See, why do I have no sound here? So my control. Oh, that is so silly. Here. Now. I need to divide that clock even more, don't I? So wait a minute. What I really want to do is multiply the clock, silly. All right. There we go. So there's a simple drum synthesis. Or I could plug it in with different timing. So it's sort of slow techno or IDM or something. Anyway, didn't I just give a lecture about don't describe everything with a style? So in here, in and out, a sample. This is kind of huge. In my cartridges, there's different drum patterns that I can use. I will use this C, but of course I need to have the output going into the mixer. Sounds like it's in sync, doesn't it? It's pretty lucky. Sort of ridiculously good luck. But I need more clock signals. In addition to dividing them, I'm going to need to like that. And of course, I'm then going to add a bunch of stuff that I don't need on top of that. But here's a split. That's what I was looking for. So pop this in here. It sounds different. Doesn't sound as good as it did before. See, don't mess with the right thing. But now that I have this clock split, so what I really should do though is that on sync? Almost on sync. I'm going to change the speed up. Just the slightest bit and it ruined it. You can pull your controller back and then adjust ever so slightly. If you were in a real studio, you would have more fine control with your fingers, but this is a decent workaround for that. I got it. It's always a beautiful feeling when you finally get your samples together. Like I said, that is what we had to do in the 90s. Just carefully adjust everything, listen. Listen to how it went together. Pretty nice. Then turn this down, turn this way up. Whoa, too loud. Just start dancing with my controllers here. I've been recording for a long time. I should end this video soon. I'm gonna go ahead and save my pattern. See, just done a little bit of things here. And I see there's a share mode also. Don't know why those are sticking to the bottom there, but this is just version 1.0. And there's already a lot of things that you can do. See, that is too loud. So pull back the controller a bit for finer control. And then turn this up. People complain, I've hit the top volume and it still doesn't sound loud enough. Well, what you have to do is turn everything else down, because volume is relative. You'll hear the loudest and the quietest thing. You will notice your brain sorts out the sounds that way. So here's another. How many different VCOs do we have here? I guess I will get another one of those. Let's see. Structure, clock, arpeggiators. I can play with the keyboard, even though this control sequencer. All right, give it another clock. I see we get these different control voltage. Turn this way down on the mixer, way down. Have to give it some real values here. Oh yeah, once again, plugged it in the wrong. Okay, that is bad. It's way too high. That almost works. Now, the difference is this is a control sequencer instead of a musical sequencer. So it's sort of creating that non-musical value instead of a sort of tuned it enough. I think this is enough to call it a day on this thing. I'm going to save this. My interface is kind of blocked here, so I will share it next time. Anyway, this is VJ Franz K, having a great time playing with SYNTHSPACE. It's a new app. 1.0 just got released on Steam. This is going to be one of the first reviews out there of this. And if you like my reviews, please subscribe and consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. If you have virtual reality creativity apps, or just regular computer apps or other things like that you would like me to review, please send a review copy or something like that. Just give me a message here and I'll get in touch with you. VJ Franz K, I've been doing this for a long time, actually. But I can already tell we're right at the edge of this sort of VR music revolution that's going to happen. And there's going to be more apps ready quite soon. Stay tuned, I'll try to cover all of those. And look back over my earlier reviews because there's a lot of different things on there. For the end of it, we'll adjust the delay time. Oh, the delay doesn't do that fluttering thing. That's too bad. But look how shiny that delay is. Look at that knob. It even has wearing on the edge of the metal like it's been in the studio for years. Really nice attention to detail here. VJ Franz K signing out for now. I'll be back with more stuff with SYNTHSPACE very soon. Gravity is disappearing in this universe. What is going on here? Anyway, thank you for watching.